I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. So we will just start in another couple of minutes. If there's any question or any doubt, you can ask me.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Hi, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. So we will start in another minute. I hope you were all able to complete the tasks and the quiz. It was not much of a hassle. If you have any query or anything that is there, you can ask me before we go on.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, this is Subramanya.
Yes, please tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, sir, tell me.
Yesterday, due to some work, I didn't complete.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you, Subramanian sir. You're on mute.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, good morning, Vishal. So,
Good morning.
hi, good morning.
Ma'am, this is Pallavi.
Hi, Pallavi.
Ma'am, I have a question that is this portal will be used by the students like these videos and all, because is it related to the students? How we
Yes.
will use with the students?
We'll be discussing that today only.
Okay.
So, whenever you have any doubt, just ask me.
Okay.
Yesterday, we gave you an access to just so that you can, as a faculty, see how does it look like, what are the features, basic features. So when you use it along with your students, you have a better clarity. Today, we are going to discuss about how it will be working, what is the working process. And tomorrow, we will be talking about how to use the portal, like the technical elements. So, shall we start?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen again. So could anyone help me with what we discussed yesterday? What were the key learnings for you?
We had discussed about the skills, soft skills and hard skills basically. And then we learned how to use that site which you have shared with us.
So how many core competencies are there? Anyone? Six, great. And how many parts a lesson does have?
6.
Again, six, great. So this you need to remember, because once you would be taking sessions with you, when you have a better clarity of what this is and how this is important, you would be able to take it as it is to your students without diluting the importance of the topics and the content. So we yesterday spoke about skills, hard skills, and we also spoke about what is the importance of the skills in today's world. We looked at some data from different surveys. One was Wadhwani Foundation survey, another one was data based on survey conducted by NSDC in India last year, that there are a huge number of opportunities across India. The only thing that is required is the right set of people who would match the requirements of these jobs. So after that, we spoke about the 6 competencies which are there, a little bit about what is the importance of these competencies, although they are self-explanatory, but having a better deep understanding does help. Then the main component, the lesson structure, how the lessons or the content is designed, and what is the logic behind this design, why we are not giving you one video. Like if you normally go through a YouTube video or any content video, that would be 10 to 15 minutes of a video, and then you have a question answers at the end. Even if you go through any professional site also, you find that there's a video and there's a question answer, like that only. So here what we have done, we are gradually moving from the content to the test and the application of the knowledge. Because if knowledge is not applied, what happens to it? If you know something, for instance, there's so many things we all know, but for say 500 things you know, how many of those things you actually are able to use in your daily lives? Can you think of the things you know and you are actually using them? The topics, the subjects, the information, starting from your school till your universities, you have like studied a lots of subjects, isn't it? And we all know about them. Probably we are not able to recall as of now because it's been a while. But if you look at a book, you know that, yeah, I know this, I've gone through it. But how much of that is actually useful for you?
Bookish knowledge is less used in our personal life.
Personal and professional, both, we hardly use any textbook knowledge. So there's so
Yeah.
multiple, like you all must be knowing about algebra, differential, calculus, geography, civics, but that is not useful for us. That is useful for a very, very specific set of people who use that in their daily lives. On of all the maths I studied for 10 years, I only use the basic functions: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. That's the only thing I use. And that also we are dependent upon a calculator, not using our brains, that how it is working. Calculating areas, measuring angles, we don't do that. Or you know about types of soils, plateaus, mountains, what do you do with that? It's useless. So our content is such that firstly it's very small that you are able to recall, and it's practical. It's nothing like that, oh, I learned about communication but I'm never going to communicate in my life. No, it's not that. While learning communication, you will be communicating. While talking about teamwork, you will be doing teamwork as well. So these are practical topics which are required by a person who is willing to start their career. So that's the logic. And then the scientific principle behind this was experiential learning. I did not divulge into too much of details. If you are interested, this is available on Google. You can go and learn about it more if someone is interested into that kind of thing. I just only focused that how it is relevant to us. So that was the last topic we discussed. And today, like I said earlier, we'll be talking about how would be practically applying and using the LMS. Yesterday, we understood the lessons, like how this a particular lesson looks like. So now, how would we implementing that lesson structure into the classroom? We'll be talking in depth about that. So today, our objectives are going to be training methodology. What is Wadhwani Foundation's training methodology? We will try to have a demo session wherein I will show you how to conduct a class using our content and our methodology. And we will also discuss a bit about elements of facilitation. So these three would be our main objectives, and we'll try to cover those up during our session. I hope this is fine with everyone.
Yes.
Any questions here? Any questions, anyone? Anything anyone wants to share, tell me. Whatever, if it's not, then you can say no and we can move on.
Ma'am, we can.
Okay, thank you. So let's go talk about the next topic. So in order to understand this topic, first we'll talk about the theoretical part. What is the approach which we think we have devised and feel is more appropriate for our learning. So today the quiz will be based upon this slide. Only one slide. You have 10 questions in the quiz today, and they all will be based on this, whatever we discuss in the methodology part. Okay. This is very simple, but please pay attention to it. So the first step, as you can see here, there are 3 different steps, right? There are 3 levels, 3 steps, which gradually cover up the whole lesson. Now, let's keep in mind the lesson structure as well. So what is the first part of the lesson?
Watch.
Watch. Great. And second one is
Think.
think. So the first 2 parts of the lesson, the student starts, the process starts with self-learning.
క్రికెట్ బ్యాట్ తేలేదురా
This process does not start with teacher or trainer's lecture. It starts with self-learning. So the step 1 to start the course is self-learning. Now why does the student learn? They open the LMS, the portal. That's name of the portal is Next Gen. LMS is a very generic name. Anything that is online learning management system, it's called LMS, and ours is called Next Gen. So student open their logins, they receive logins, they open, they log on, and they start with watch and think of the lesson. So a student will be doing it on independently. What do I mean by independently here? Anyone?
Individually.
Individually. So it's not like that I am writing on a board and I'm giving a lecture. No, it's not happening here. The student opens the LMS, whether on a laptop, desktop, or a mobile. They start seeing the watch and think. Now, if you recall yesterday's watch and think, what was the structure of that watch and think?
Teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork was to be completed. So how was the content presented to you in the video?
It was picturized, animated.
True. And there was an explanation going on,
Yes.
right? So student, we here in this process, we trust the student. So there has to be a little bit of trust requirement that, yeah, the student will be able to understand most of the content on their own. They don't need someone to oversimplify things for them. We are not going to spoon feed them. We are going to let them understand on their own. Because the language, if you notice, it's very simple. It's not that very technical or very difficult kind of a language. It's a normal language. So after completing the watch, the student will be doing think. If you recall, think is nothing but simple examples, simple questions, simple options, wherein we would be going through based on the learning of think. And there is no marking, so student doesn't need to get scared or have doubt that whether they will clear the think part or not. It's very easy and can be done easily. And if there is any doubt, you can always create a WhatsApp group, or you will be having a classroom. Student can come back to you and ask that this was the thing which I could not understand out of the video. So this is the first step. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
So what is the facilitator doing here? Any guesses? Or the trainer?
they make comfort for the students. Basically, they are the helping hands for the students if they are learning. So they just facilitate them by helping them by giving the guidance to them and by telling them that the way of doing a thing in a proper manner. So I think that teacher does.
Yes. So teacher, trainer is not explaining anything here. This is very, very crucial that we don't teach them. We just tell them that, okay, this is the portal, log on to this portal, watch this video, and come back to me with if there is any query. So that's how it is going to work. Then the second step, this is self-learning, okay? The second step is classroom faculty check-in or online session. Now, classroom check-in means physically meeting the students. If the student is in the classroom, you are physically meeting them and going on. Or if it's an online session like you and us, this is an online session. So it can be either a physical classroom or an online classroom. Now here the word is used as faculty. That means the faculty, the trainer would be here doing something. Earlier it was only student, there was no faculty. Now what will the faculty do? The faculty will, one second. The faculty will establish the objective and the benefits of the lessons. So the video has been watched by the student. Now faculty will tell that this is the objective of this particular topic. That means what will be your learning from the topic. Objective means that. And benefit, that what will you get out of it if you learn this particular topic. So this will be told by the faculty in the classroom. Second step, the faculty will recap the learnings of watch and think. Now, when we do recap, what do we do? Do we read everything or only the main points?
Highlights.
Highlights. So if you just recall 5 minutes back, I did a recap of the yesterday's session. I did not explain anything. I just showed you I did this, we did this, we did this, we did this. Nothing elaborated. So it should not take more than 2 to 3 minutes, the recap part. Then this is the pre-session work. Then conduct collaboration as appropriate for the lesson. Now, what do we mean by collaboration? This is the third part of the lesson, right? And what is it? What is in there in the collaboration?
Working together in a team, like helping each other.
Share their views.
Share their views, work together, discuss. So that is collaboration. Collaboration is nothing but a discussion. And how do you know what to discuss? It is written on the LMS. If you yesterday saw, there were 3 activities: classroom, community, online. You can see as a facilitator which one you like and you can conduct that activity. So that the purpose of the activity or the collaboration is that the students get a platform to share whatever they have got or learned from the watch and think. So giving them that opportunity to come up with ideas. And also when 10, 12, 15 students, 20 students share their thoughts, the 20 points will come up. Some of them will be same, some of them will be more applicable, some of them will be less applicable. So what do you do as a trainer, as a facilitator? You just summarize the whole thing and focus on the more important parts. So you don't give a lecture anywhere. You are not explaining stuff to people. Yes, what you can do is that, yes, my students have given 10 points, they are missing 1 point, I can add this 1 point. So you add that thing. So that is another work or another task for the facilitator. Then once this activity is done, we debrief. Anyone knows what is debriefing? You all know about briefing, right? Briefing is what is to be done. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, this is what you have to do. Debriefing is 1, 2, 3, 4, I have done it. So just telling that what we have done. Kind of a summary, that is called debriefing. And build add-on perspective. So if there is something additional you want to share, which is relevant to the topic, which students probably missed, So you can share those points, you can add on those things and increase the students' knowledge. Then there is a very important thing, the benefit. The benefit is also known as WIIFM. This is a technical term for when we share benefits. We call it WIIFM. It means what is in it for me. That means you constantly need to tell the students that yes, if you study this topic, this is your benefit. So you just cannot teach and say, okay, this is important. But why is this important? That you need to tell. We were all told that algebra is very important, isn't it? Or calculus is very important. Knowing how to measure an area of a square or a rhombus or a pyramid or anything is very, very essential. But where? Why? Why would I measure rooms? Why would I be measuring squares randomly? Why would I need to calculate radius and diameters of things? Why? No one told me. So I don't give any importance to those things now. Yes, I was told that you need to learn languages because you need to communicate. So I know purpose. So purpose is very important. Just knowing is not important. Just knowing is not helpful. I know, like we already said that we know so many things, but if I don't know why, it's as good as not being there. So it's very important you constantly repeat in the beginning, in the middle, in the end of the session, what is the importance of this topic, particular topic. So once this is done, you close the call, you close the classroom session by giving homework. Now what the homework is going to be? The homework is also in self-learning mode. So teacher, the facilitator, trainer doesn't have any role in the homework, like a normal homework. So what is the homework? The fourth and the fifth parts of the lesson. Do play, do test. And if there is any time left and students are interested, you always tell them that they should go through the explore part. Whether they go or not, that's their choice. But as a facilitator, you need to at least tell them that, yeah, there's an explore part, additional learning. You should go through it. It will help you in learning more about the topic. So, and also lastly, the next topic should be introduced. So like I told you during the last call, I told you that tomorrow we are going to do this. So the student is mentally prepared what is coming next. There are no surprises. We are not going to shock them or give them a surprise test. No. Things should be very comfortable. Learning should be very comfortable. It's not that we are testing them. No, we don't need to test anyone. Then comes the third part and the last part, which is again student self-learning. That means no role of the faculty. Student will do the collaboration, go home, complete the do play and do test of the chapter, start the next chapters, watch and think. So this cycle will continue. The student watches, watch and think, comes to the class, completes collaboration, goes home, completes do, starts next lesson, again collaboration, again do test, then again watch, again collaboration. So this cycle will continue till the course is there. And during this time, if you observe here, there are three parts, right? Out of three, how many times student is doing something? So how many times you feel that student is active? The three categories, three parts. How many times?
2 times.
2 times, fully active, right?
Yes, madam.
And what about the collaboration? Who is active?
In,
Both are active.
in
All the students,
Here,
all the students and faculty.
both the students
are
and faculty. It's not always that faculty is working with the students, yes, but students are doing most of the work. So when I am doing most of the work, who will be learning? Me or my faculty?
Me.
I'll be obviously learning. If my faculty is doing work, they will be learning. So here the focus shifts. If you recall the yesterday's diagram, learner was in the center. The lesson structure, the learner was in the center. So this is what we mean by learner centric. The focus is on the student. Now, why student? That is also very important. Why we are focusing that students should be doing everything, because we believe in experiential learning. So if the student doesn't experience things on their own, they will not learn it. Now, if this is a normal traditional classroom, what will be happening?
Nobody will learn anything and nobody will take interest in learning something.
Or there will be
Yes.
very less learning, like it will be not effective, we're talking about.
Most
Yes.
of the time, only one-way communication is when the teacher just delivered the lessons and student don't get, or they don't have any kind of interest.
They
The
just
class will be
doing
boring.
the-
Syllabus.
Yeah.
The class will be boring, yes. So what happens in a normal boring classroom? Students become gradually passive.
Yes.
You tell them anything, they will be listening. Even not listening, they will be just like, yes, 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 yeah, we have understood. So, but actually learning, what you ask them outside the class, what did you do in the class? They go blank, because their mind was not inside the classroom. So we need to get their mind into the learning, into the classroom. So that's why out of 5, almost 4.5 things students are doing on their own. The facilitator, yes, is there. It's not that we are not saying that facilitator is not important. Facilitator is there and they're supporting the learning. They're just confirming the learning. They're sharing that, yes, this is the learning. This is how you can use it. And if there's any confusion, they are resolving that confusion and conflict. So this is known as, now what is the name of this methodology? This is called flipped classroom. Now, are you able to understand why is it called flipped classroom? I did not tell you in the beginning.
No.
Does it make
Full of
sense? Why is it called flipped classroom?
Because the
Because firstly the student is he or she is self learning, means वो अपने आप ही उस चीज को पढ़ रहा है. Then then it is flipping to the faculty in the classroom. Then both of them, faculty and the students, are getting involved in the classroom. And after that, again, it is flipping to the student. He is going home, or after the class, he or she is doing the 2 play test, or watching and thinking of the next chapter or something. So it's flipping again and again.
Or we can say that earlier, like students were passive, but in this module, students are in the active part. So that's why it's known as flipped classroom. As like they are not the passive learners, they are the active learners, and they're participating, and that's why the role of the students and the teachers are flipped here. As earlier, lecture methods were used. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Students are in an active mode, so that's why I think this is known as flipped classroom.
Yes, true, absolutely right, both of you. So the work is changed, the work pattern is changed. The focus is more on the student than the facilitator. Like earlier times, student was not deemed to be important. And it was thought that student doesn't know anything. It's not the case here. Students do know lots of things. If they have done schooling, even if they have done schooling, they know lots of things. So we need to give them that credit. At least if they don't know anything, at least they can understand the words and translate them to make it simplify for themselves. They can all do that. It's not that they cannot. We just don't believe that they cannot, because that removes importance from the facilitator or the teacher. So it's not one way, like you said, one way communication will be happening in a traditional classroom. Here it's a 2-way communication. Obviously, if I'm doing something on my own, if I have a query, I will go and ask. If I'm not doing anything, how can I have a query? If I don't look at a book, do you think I will find 10 difficult words in a book? I never looked at a book. So here I'm looking at the book, underlining the key points, maybe asking my teacher, what does this word mean in this content? Because I find that this word had some other meaning. There are multiple things like that. So the student's brain will be automatically activated. And when you start using your mind, your brain actively, automatically the learnings are more stronger, more better. Plus, they are getting an opportunity in the collaboration to speak out. In a normal classroom, how many of you can speak? How many of
When
times that you
ask
feel
the
that, yeah, I can
question,
speak? And how does the question is answered? How is the question answered?
in a
By
very
raising the hand.
brief manner,
By raising the hand.
short and brief.
Yes. So
But
everyone doesn't ask questions, number one. Every question doesn't get an answer in a normal classroom. And even
but
if
the
they get a
first, but the first thing is, if the student is listening properly, then only he or she can ask the question. No? If
I'm
he is-
sleeping.
then no question will come out.
Most of us, like in a classroom, if I look at a normal classroom, there are 50, 60, 70, 100 students. Sometimes the facilitators speak so slow that even the last people don't listen what is being said to them. So once they try, twice they try, then they know that teacher is not putting that much of effort, they go off and sleep. And now we all have mobile phones. So our focus is more on the mobile. So why not use the mobile for learning? This can be learned. This can be. Yeah, hi, Prab. You want to ask something? You have raised your hand? Or you did it by mistake? I think so. Is asking anything. Okay. So it's very essential that we are giving that opportunity. So here it's all student centric. So this is the methodology. Is it okay? Any doubts here? You have a quiz today on this only PPT. This is already shared with you yesterday, like the whole PPT. So you'll study about this PPT. Go and today we have only one task, one quiz only, 10 questions. Any doubts in this?
No, madam.
So what are we going to do next is try to use this pattern in a real classroom, like a demo, that we know that, yeah, this can be done practically. This is not something only written and it's not practical. Yes, your responses will vary with one set of student and second set of student, but gradually when you yourself start doing this, you will also feel that your work is less pressurized. You don't need to do everything on your own because 80% of your work would be done by the students. So you don't have to give gyan on lecture on any topic. You just need to summarize and maybe help the students in understanding the concept better, not giving a lecture on anything. There is no lecturing required. Is it all right? Shall I move to the next part, the
Yes.
demo part? Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
for the demo, I had asked you to see one video and do one thing, right? So that was the purpose of asking you to complete teamwork, watch and think, so that you become my students and you have already done your self-learning first step. What is the first step?
Watch.
Watch and think. So you have already done it. So, and where was it done? Inside the classroom, outside the classroom?
Outside the classroom.
So I was not there. I was not even physically present. Right? So this is how you have to do. You tell in the classroom that this is your lesson, go and do it. Maybe day one, no one will do. It's all right. You can start by showing one video in the classroom. Like I showed you a video earlier in the session so that they know what is in the video. Then tell them go 1, 2, 3 times and they will automatically understand that this is important, because if I don't speak anything, it will not be a good thing. So let's understand how it is working. So we have already done watch and think of one lesson, that was collaborate to achieve team goals, right? So next 15 minutes, probably 20 minutes, we will try to understand how it is working in a classroom situation. So assuming I am your trainer and you are my students. So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you
Good
all?
morning, ma'am.
Good, ma'am.
Fine, ma'am.
Great. So I hope you have all watched the video and understood what is the key concept of this watch section.
Yes.
Yes. So it's about
Collaborate.
teamwork. So who can tell me what is teamwork?
Working together, ma'am.
Working together. Great. And there's another line written here. Collaborate to achieve team goals. So what is collaboration?
Helping
To
each
share
other.
our views and ideas with our colleagues or with our students, with our peer members.
Great. So sharing ideas, helping each other, talking to each other, that's collaboration, right? And we are also doing a collaboration, isn't it? So
Yes.
we'll be talking about this. Does anyone recall what was the story? What is happening in the video? There was an example here. Anyone saw this?
Yes.
Would you like to share?
And the first one or the second one?
The first one.
There is I don't remember the name. There is a girl called Rita. Sorry, there is a person named Sunny, and he has to take the decision for something. And his team members are sitting over there, and they're sharing their views. So after sharing their views, we have means he has to decide what he has to do. So we were getting the options that first of all we were reading what they were thinking, the team members were thinking, or they were sharing their views. After that, continue of button was there. Then after we had been given the options that what now that person named Sunny will should do to continue the meeting. Like that, it was continued.
Great. So this whole video was about working together, sharing our views, sharing our thoughts. And there was an acronym in the lesson. Anyone recalls that? What was the acronym?
It's a success.
It was success. Great. So that was the video. We understood how the team should work, what are the things we should be doing and we should not be doing, and how can we make our teams better. Then there was a think. We had some simple questions which tried to help us in understanding the key concepts better. So now let's talk about what is success. What does like success means and how can we use this to understand and make our teamwork better. So the first one is stands for specific goals. So what kind of goals are we talking here? What do you think we are talking about goals in a team?
It's basically a shared goal where the whole team wants to achieve.
Great.
A person need to follow for need to achieve a perfect goal in which they didn't want to deviate. Actually, they didn't have their personal goals.
Yes, very nice. So no personal goals, a collective common goal, right? Then second one is understand individual perspectives. What is that? What are we just said there are no individualism. Now we are saying understanding individual.
Now, first of all, because it is a teamwork, but everyone present over there is sharing their own views. Just as in this meeting, we are sharing our own views and perspectives, like that. So after collaborating all those, views, we are getting to one decision or something like that.
Great. So what a person thinks, we should always understand it. It can be right, it can be wrong, but we need to accept that. So that is you. Then comes C, that focuses on challenges and conflicts. Why would there be challenges and conflicts?
Because everybody has different views, and maybe one person will not agree with the other person. So conflicts will be there. Conflicts might happen.
Yes, because there are multiple views, so conflicts can happen. We can disagree with something. So how do we manage them? Then comes another C, that is clear
Clear communication.
communication. Why is communication important? Why we need to have a clear communication?
So that we could achieve the goal properly.
It is important to resolve all the problems and share the experience and the perception which we have in our mind.
True. So unless we don't communicate with someone, we don't know why the conflict is there. We don't understand their perspective. So communication helps us to sort those differences, and it in turn help in achieving the goals as well. Great. Then is enhance. What is enhance collaboration? How can we enhance?
After everyone has shared their views, so then maybe some or the other person will be agreeing with the few persons, and like that they will be enhancing their teamwork by agreeing on the same thing. Some
Yeah.
or the other point may be there on which everybody will be agreed.
With the help of perfect planning, we can achieve the teamwork.
But it's also the basically like, meeting a regular meeting in terms of that working on the same or shared goal. So it's like you need a regular interaction among the team members.
So regular interaction, working together, sharing, communicating, all this will help in enhancing the collaboration.
Collaboration.
Then comes share the progress. With whom? It's very simple, sharing progress. There were 10 tasks. I have completed 5. To whom I tell that I have completed 5?
With my colleagues and all, or with my peers.
So my team members, I
My
tell them I
team
have
And
done
with seniors.
my seniors, my colleagues, my friends, workers, whatever is situation is. But where can I use all this? We have been talking about it. And last one is set the process to make decisions. How do we decide things? So there must be a process. What can be the different processes that come into your mind? How can we make decisions? Do you know of any process? I'll give you a simple example and maybe you can relate with that and then answer me. You need to decide who will be MLA from your constituency. How will you do that?
After analyzing the facts,
You analyze the pros and cons, good. And what is the next step? Elections will come. You will
start promoting.
voting. So voting is one process. So democratic process, right? Another can be one person volunteers, says that I will say, I will answer, I will do it, and everyone agrees. This is opposite of democracy. So I say that I will do it and you agree with me, you don't oppose me. So that is one process. Another process is I remove all those who don't agree with me and I say, no, this is my thing. So authoritativeness, that is again a process. So there are multiple processes. Every process has its positive and negative sides. So as per your group, you can decide, as per your team, you can decide which process will work more effectively. What do you think is better?
First one.
The first one. Democratic?
Yes. Yeah.
Democratic. So the majority gets to say what is to be done, right? Now, why would we need to know all this? Why should we do teamwork? What is the importance of teamwork? I'm working alone.
Because everybody has their own ideas, new ideas come up with each and everyone. So maybe हम जिस whole process को follow कर रहे हैं, maybe we might get some new ideas from our team, and we can do better to achieve the goal.
So achieving goals in a better way is one. Okay. What else comes
Individual-
into you?
Individual work done is not equal to the team work done. Sure.
So you can do better, more while working with others. Anything else?
Save our time. When
Save
more
our
people
time.
work, yeah.
Ma'am, and each and every person has his or her own qualities to do the thing. Maybe someone will be better at doing some one work, and other person can't do that work, but he is better in other thing.
Yes. So identifying who is good at what. All of us cannot do one same task very similar, but we might be doing other tasks. So designating right person for the right work. That is also very important, and that we only can know when we work together. If I'm working alone, then it cannot be figured out. So this is one. Where can I use my teamwork knowledge? Okay, understood. This is important. Success model is to be, but where I use this? Which places do you think teamwork can be done?
Industries.
Industry,
Classrooms,
Classroom.
companies,
companies,
educational institutions, everywhere.
Institutions.
We can do teamwork everywhere, at home also.
At home
If
also, right?
if celebration is there, if some festival is there, we can do the teamwork there also. So teamwork can be applied anywhere.
So teamwork is not something that is limited to one particular situation or one instance. No, it can be used across. It can be used in home, workplace, industry, education, in anywhere. We do work only when we are together, and when we do together, it becomes better. Simple example of your homes. If you are outside, who is at home? There must be someone who is at home. There must be someone who is helping you, someone sharing your work. Right now, I'm working and taking a session. There are so many things which I need to do, but there is someone I know that from my family who is doing those things. And if they are not able to do those things, then I know that, okay, I need to have someone else. So that clarity, so that I do not stress myself by doing everything my own. I cannot do everything. So this also helps us to understand that where we need support. So just to understand it better, what we are going to do, I'm going to divide you into two groups, and I'm going to give you a task. Is that all right? You will find a message on your screens that you have been allotted to room number 1 or room number 2. You will click on that and join that particular room. The task that you need to do, and you have 5 minutes to do that task, is find out what is your favorite movie as team 1 and team 2. So how many movies you will be telling me?
5,
How many groups are there?
2.
2. So only 2 movies. 1 movie
Two
from
movies.
one each group. So you will need to discuss, talk to your classmates, your friends, that what is a movie which all of you like. So finding out that particular common movie. 1. Number 2, what do you like about that movie? So why do you like that movie? You will be telling me. And while doing so, you don't have to tell me the story. I don't need to listen to the story. I don't need to know what happens in the movie. I just need to know why you like the movie. Is it okay?
Yes.
2 groups, 2 movies, and reasons as much as you want. You can have one reason, you can have 10 reasons, that's your choice. But while sharing about the movie, you will not be telling me what happens in the movie. For example, if there's a movie, I'm sorry, I'm very about movies, I don't see that much. So for example, there's a movie called Three Idiots, and I like it. I will tell you what do I like about the movie. I like how the friendship is there. I like how the learning happens. I like the music of the movie. I am not telling you that there are three friends who are doing engineering and one of their professor is very shrewd. No, I'm not telling you that. So this thing you have to exclude. Other reasons you have to include. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just dividing you into two groups. You will find a message on your screens and you can join the breakout groups. You will have 5 minutes. So by 12, everyone should be back. I'm giving you 1 minute to join and then you can start discussing. You all will have a message on your screen that you have been assigned to a particular room. Please.
Yeah, Rupesh ji.
Uh,
Yeah, please go on.
Actually, the favorite movie is Bahubali, ma'am. It's a always a emotional drama. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah,
Am I
you're
right?
audible.
Yeah, yeah, we are.
Yeah, audible, Rupesh ji.
Okay.
You are audible.
Okay. Then it's also mother sentiment oriented movie.
Yeah.
And also epic and action sequences like that. Actually, it's a stunning visuals also, VFX effects and the graphics.
Great.
Songs also very good.
Wonderful.
The overall characters are very good. I think movie is very nice. Even
So,
single character cinematically showing.
okay, great.
Yes.
Anyone wants to add from group 1 to what Rupesh ji said?
Yes, ma'am, agreed with him. I have also watched Bahubali and it's one of my favorite also.
Great. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, so that was group 1. Group 2, what about you? What is your favorite movie?
Ma'am, we have decided our favorite movie is Bagban. Maybe you must have watched that movie, and everyone here must have watched that movie. It is about a family, and its main the moral of the whole movie is that uh, we think that blood relations is something a big I mean blood जो खून के रिश्ते हैं वो बहुत बड़े होते हैं. It doesn't मतलब ये हर चीज पे लागू नहीं होते हैं. मेन चीज होती है इंसान की परवरिश. अगर आप किसी बच्चे किसी अनाथ को भी अगर आप अच्छी परवरिश दे सके तो that whole matter is about the परवरिश and what our parents do for us. हमें कुछ ऐसा दिखता नहीं है. And our parents in the beginning when we are small, they do each and everything for us. They sacrifice their happiness and they do each and everything for us. But what we do after growing up, so it's all about that. The main thing which has been shown in the movie is about the teaching or parvarish given by the parents to the children. So that's why we.
And I think another point which has been indicated in that movie is the bond of two people, that love relation between the husband and wife. They were the pillar for each other, and they were there for each other for whole the time. So at the end, they were together. Though their children betrayed them, we can say, but हाँ वो उनका जो bond था that was also one of the thing which was a part of that important thing. So I think both are, and respecting each other was there, and after giving lots of time to their guidance to the जो उनके बच्चे थे उसके बाद वो भी सब normal हो जाते हैं after they learn. So we learn from our mistakes. So एक ये भी हमें lesson मिलता है उससे.
Great, thank you.
Basically, this movie shows up very beautifully the social issue which is currently going on very fastly. We are not giving importance to that kind of pupils like our parents, and we have to how we can respect them. And as Vishaka said that जो परवरिश जो होती है, so this movie is particularly about not the blood relation, it's about the relations between pupils. अगर मेरा आपसे कोई blood relation नहीं है, but as like Fazia ma'am is my best friend, so I can trust Fazia ma'am more than my real sister.
Yeah.
So I thought that movie is particularly showing that make your relations better within the society as well as in your home.
Great, thank you so much. So I think we are done with the discussion. But why we are talking about movies? I'm not interested in your favorite movies.
Because you gave us the topic. That's why we are discussing.
Oh, it's like authoritatism, right? So I decided you have to follow. You cannot say no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
that's what.
democracy.
No democracy here, right? There's no democracy here. I'm more of an authoritative person. Yes, that is also one reason, one of a very major reason I say, and you have to do. Any other reason that comes to your mind while we were talking about the movies? Yes, I have seen both of the movies. I like Bahubali more than Bagban. Maybe I'm not a very emotional kind of a person, so I like something with action or maybe science fiction, historic dramas. But even that's not my favorite movie. Why we are talking about favorite movies? We were talking about teamwork.
Yeah.
Because as
We
a-
have done
as a
the
team-
teamwork only.
Yeah, as a team,
We have done the
decided
teamwork.
this is very difficult task to choose one in between a number of options.
Yes, so you were able to use the success model to some extent,
Yeah.
maybe not completely. It's like whenever there's a model, it's not that you have to follow it step to step. Some parts might be relevant today, some might be relevant tomorrow in some other activity. So, but whole structure that we follow something like that. We had a specific goal. I told you what to do and what not to do. Then obviously, normally we don't have a very a group of people don't have one favorite movie. It is impossible. So understanding, managing the conflicts, that must be there, that I like this, but I can agree on this. That could have been there. So if I was in a group one, I would have agreed to Bahubali. I would not have agreed to Bagban. I like it, but I would not say that that's my favorite movie. And communicating, whoever might be talking, I did not even check on you whether you're talking, you're not talking. It's okay. So you did collaboration within yourselves. You found out that this is the movie, and then you might have decided that okay, this person is going to talk, or we three people will talk. It's not that only one person will talk. It can be 3 leaders. It can be 4 leaders. No one has told us. There's not written anywhere. There's one reason leader. So it can be anything, as long as it is peaceful and without any conflict. So what we were trying to understand how the team works. What is teamwork and how do we collaborate? I hope you have understood how to practically apply that, what is the success model and how to use this in your situations. The situations we discuss can be your personal or your professional or your educational, whatever it is there, we can use that. So I hope it is clear to all of you why and how teamwork is to be done and why is it important.
Yes.
Then moving ahead, the homework for you would be the do part and the do, play and test part. If you get time, what will you do? Explore. And the next chapter which would be there would be effective relationships. So how do we have a better relationship with another person? That would be our next topic. And once you are completed with watch and think, we will have a collaborate on that topic. So that would be all for my side on teamwork. Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Great, thank you. So here we end our demo. So this was the demo which was going on. It took some 20, 25 minutes. Now the duration of a demo should not be more than 30 minutes. Unless you are doing a collaboration for 5 chapters, then it might be little longer, but it should be less than 30 minutes so that it is very precise. It should not turn into a Gyan lecture. When you know that you have limited time, you also try to limit the words you would be sharing with your participants. So now let's go back to the PPT which we're looking at. I'm sorry. Yeah. So now can you relate whatever we did in the demo to this slide? Anyone?
Ma'am, there is no slide which I'm
It's not visible?
able
Oh,
to see. Yes,
so
ma'am.
sorry. Thank you. Now, show screen. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now can you relate this to the demo session?
Yes.
Yes.
This is the theory part, and what we tried to do was a practical application, a demonstration, how this theory has to be converted into practical. Now, let's look at it once more, just to summarize it. The first step was self-learning. So you did it yesterday, not even today. And me, the facilitator, faculty was not there to answer your queries or to help you understand the topic or to simplify the words. I was not there. So you used your own thinking, your own presence of mind to understand what was happening in the video. Right or wrong?
Right, ma'am.
Right? Then today we are talking about the collaboration that's in classroom check-in or the session. So we told about that why we are going to use teamwork, where we are going to use teamwork. We did a recap of the learning. I asked and Vishakha shared what happened in the video. So we got to know that, yeah, this was there. Then I stopped the screen on the key learning only. I did not play the whole video. I just stopped at one important thing. That was the key learning. We discussed the key learning. And what was I doing when success was displayed? I was just reading the words. You were the one who was explaining it. I was not explaining anything. Yes, whenever I said that this has to be edited, I did that. I did not explain anything. So you told, what do you mean by S, use S? I just read it. A simple reading. Then we did an exercise. That was our collaboration. That was our activity. And again, I repeated what we did. I gave you a homework, introduce the next chapter. And supposedly after the class, you will be doing do play and do test and see the watch of the next chapter. So does it make sense to you?
Yes.
As a facilitator, do you think it would be easy to take classes if you follow this methodology?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the pressure is not only relieved from the student, it is also relieved from the faculty. The faculty doesn't have to give a lecture and dry out their throats. They can sit, they can do something else also. So while you were discussing, I was posting content and quiz for the day. I could multitask because I know my class is busy in something productive. They're not chit-chatting, they're discussing relevant to the topic. And once this happens in a real classroom, this is like you are more mature, more experienced people. Every student will not be like you. But yes, once they know that, yeah, this activity is fun. So you have to find out things that are fun. If I gave you a topic, something like the best political party in India, it would lead to a chaos. So the topic has to be very, very carefully chosen. Movie, color, your own state, your country. See, everything will positive will come out. You give a wrong input and things will collapse. So whenever you're giving any topic, that thing also needs to be taken care of. What is the topic, whether it's relevant, whether it's suitable for the level of the students. Yes, for us, we can probably discuss on the political parties without fighting, without killing each other, without screaming, without getting emotional. But students might not, because they have limited understanding of that thing. So you can give a simple example. Your favorite flower, for example, a favorite movie. What is your favorite color as a group? Or which is your favorite thing to do? So very simple things. Don't complicate things. Earlier teachers used to complicate things rather than simplifying them. Here we are doing it opposite. Don't complicate. Keep it simple. If it can be done in one word, why I need a passage on it? How does my word limit tell you whether I'm intelligent or not? I can answer a question in one word, 2 words, 5 words, and be very relevant rather than writing a 500-page essay and talk everything that comes into my mind. So that's not the case here. It has to be simplified so that a one person understands it. And secondly, knows how to use it and uses it. So you're giving them an opportunity. In teamwork, I gave you an opportunity to do teamwork. In communication, I can ask you, okay, Devesh, you are a customer, and Pallavi, you are a customer care representative. Devesh is very angry. So how will you talk? So you're getting a opportunity to talk. So we are talking about communication, give them an opportunity to do communication. You're saying Word, file, Excel file. Give them Word and Excel, they will type. Talking about it will not help, practically doing. So practical application, experiential learning is the whole idea of all this structure. And this is your topic for the quiz as well. So I would request all of you after the session, you can have a look at this. So the questions will be more or less like who does what. So do, play, and do test is done by the student in which mode? Self-learning, classroom, or like that. So you just need to find out the right answer. It's already written here. So that's not very difficult thing to do. So this is about teaching methodology. I hope this is clear. Shall we move to the next part?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
So now this is democracy in play. I ask always, whether I agree to it or not, that is a secondary thing. But we always ask. This is also one of the things a facilitator has to do. I cannot say, okay, let's do it. Or, okay, you are going to do this. It feels imposed. When I ask you, should we do it? It feels, yeah, I'm being asked. I'm important. My point of view is considered. Most of the time, students say yes only. If someone says no, yes, you can take a break. That's all right. You can go outside, chill, have a glass of water, say hello to your friends, and come back. That's all acceptable. It will not accept harm learning anyway. So respecting student is something very essential in our methodology because it's learner centric. Now, next thing we have understood what is the flipped classroom methodology, the theoretical part, and the demo. We also try to understand how to implement this in the classroom. Now we are going to talk about the last topic. We are going to finish it by one mostly. Elements of facilitation. Now, elements is something that is a part, a component, which is there of a bigger thing. So now what is facilitation? Would anyone like to tell me?
To make the things easy.
It makes things easy, great. Anything else? Anything else that comes into your mind?
Making things easier.
To help each other.
To help each other.
Praising, basically praise. Facilitate करते हैं हम अपने students को when they are performing well. So
Praising, right.
We will guide to the plannings according to plannings.
Great, that's also right. So we're talking about facilitation. Now, what is difference between teaching and facilitation?
Teaching is something like one person is speaking and speaking and speaking, and he is only focused what knowledge I am having, and I have to give it, and I have to go do my work and go. But facilitating is two-way process. Means it is a learning process also for the teacher also and for the students also. The teacher will be like in this meeting, you are the facilitator. So no, we are also participating in this meeting. So you are giving us the questions and we are also actively participating in this meeting. So like that, you are not a teacher right now, you are a facilitator. That's the difference.
So teacher is one-sided, facilitator is a balanced approach, and facilitator steps in only when and if required. So if I am not required, I don't need to even say anything. If I understand sometimes my students are so good that I don't need to say anything. I just praise them. Like Faiza said, we praise them. Yes, you are doing right. Go on, clap for them and let them discuss. They can conclude on their own. Trust me, students can do it everything on their own once they are giving that, when we have our faith in them. So if I say, no, you are going to do wrong, they are definitely going to do wrong. So having that faith in a student is also very essential. So like I already said, flipped classroom methodology, facilitation, we are not teaching. We are helping the students understand the elements, the things, and do on their own. Because in real world, no one helps. No one teaches us. You go to a job, you work. Does anyone teach you? You have to figure out on your own everything. Yes, you might be told about that. This is your task. This is your value set. This is who you report to. But what is the step-by-step thing? No one told you. You have to figure out on your own. And if you're not able to figure out on your own, you will be out in very short time. So this is something which we call self-efficacy. Facilitation leads to self-efficacy. Teaching leads to dependence. I don't know a word. Ma'am, what is the meaning? Can you explain this? And the teacher explains. And I always rely on my teacher. Facilitation is, this is the road. Go on and see what is there. You might be having a smooth journey. You might find some turns, some things. So figuring out on your own is something what facilitation does. So for example, you're driving. So if you're driving and someone else is driving for you, what is that? I'm going somewhere and someone else is driving for me. So whom I'm dependent on?
On the driver.
On the driver.
The person who's driving.
What am I doing?
I'm just sitting and
at times we don't know where we are.
Yeah.
Which things have passed, which places have passed, which road is this, when did we take
it depends
the turn?
upon us. It depends upon us what we have to do.
Yes, it depends upon us as well.
Maybe if a person is curious from where we are going and on which road we are going, what is the place, what are the landmarks, so that is some other person. And some person are like they are busy on their phone and they don't know where they are going. They have to just reach the destination.
Yes.
In
So
any
they're
of
dependent more on the driver. Like if I am driving and there's a person who is helping me just by sitting in this navigator seat, they're not driving, they're not saying anything, they're just there.
That is a facilitator.
That is a facilitator. So when you, for example, I learned driving like this only. My first teacher, trainer, facilitator, he never said anything to me because I knew the basics. Like this is a steering, this is a clutch. He just told me 1 or 2 times that this is how you have to do. And then he would sit calmly. He would not say anything. And I would be driving. So I know, oh, I've done this wrong. I've hit the brake too hard. I am figuring out on my own. He's not telling me. He would tell me later, after 5 days. You know, that day, that was not a correct thing. So that time I don't feel offended. I don't feel, oh, I can't do it. By the time I've already figured out what to do. So now I asked him a question last time. How do you hit the brake? And he said, oh, are you testing me? Yeah, just tell me. So he felt very happy that I figured out on my own that what is to be hit first, brake, clutch, or what. So I'm using my own brain. I'm not depending on him. I'm not dependent on the 4 points he gave me. I have 8 points, all figured out on my own. And that makes me feel confident also on my own. So that is very essential. Facilitation has to be there so that the student don't rely on you. They should have faith in you. You should have faith in them. Yes, they should know that I can come to this person anytime. That should be there. But it's not that you are spoon feeding them. No, that should not be the case. Now, there are different elements, multiple elements in facilitation. We would be talking on the major things only, not everything. There are like 50 to 60 elements of facilitation. But considering our session, we will be focusing on 4 to 5 only, the essential ones. The first one is now clear communication. So, how many of you agree that communication is very essential?
All of us agree.
You do?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yes. So communication is something which can help you do better teamwork, have a better attitude, have a better behavior, have a understanding of things in a better way. So if you're not able to communicate, everything else comes down to a collapse. Now, what a facilitator needs to do, we need to connect, create, and comprehend. So to whom we can connect to? With whom?
The students or the facilitator, both of them have to connect with each other.
Both of us, we have to connect to each other. And what do we create?
The topic or the content on which they have to discuss some on what students are going to learn, the topic.
What the students are going to learn, the topic, the environment, everything we need to create together. It cannot be one-sided. So communication is the bridge. Then lastly is comprehend. And what is comprehension?
Giving them the things in the text form so
Okay.
that they can learn from that also by doing practicals.
Practicals,
Understanding.
understanding. So what is going on? What is there? Understanding. Both ways that is there. Now, how do we do it? There are like some points here. For example, the first one is communicate relentlessly. What is relentlessly? What do you mean by relentlessly? Any idea? Relentless. So relentlessly is repeatedly. So we have to do things repeatedly but differently. So it's not like I'm copy pasting. No, I'm showing you the same thing but differently. You just recall the lesson structure: watch, think, do, collaborate, play. It's same thing but in a different form, so that the same information goes again. Why? Practice makes people perfect. So you can use audio, you can use visual, you can use your own self, whatever works, whatever is right for the situation, you need to use that. So communicate relentlessly. Then simplify. Simplifying means
To make it easy for the students to
make it easy for the students. Simple. So don't complicate the things, don't complicate the words, don't use complicated language. No one is going to give you marks if you use a very difficult word. Rather than you would be spending more energy explaining what is this word. Why not use a simple form of a language? It's not an English exam or a language exam. So keep it simple. Then hold your thoughts. What do you understand by that?
The facilitator should allow the students to discuss on their own unless they ask something from the facilitator.
So giving them that space.
Yeah.
That okay, you can say whatever you want to. I don't need to give my own inputs unless they are required. So encourage participation, giving them that area, this physical, mental space to speak up. because your students would not be very comfortable speaking up. So you have to create that ambience, that environment that yes, you can do and no one is going to interrupt you, even if you're wrong. Then another thing is use examples, use stories. So what kind of stories can you use?
Ma'am, just as you used in this meeting that you gave us the topic about regarding movies, not about the politics. So like
Yes.
that, you can be the facilitator can give the examples regarding what he or she wants to teach on their own. So regarding
Anything that is relevant, anything that is useful. It can be
relatable.
story, real story, your own story, someone else's story, a movie's story.
The example
cartoon.
relatable to the topic,
Yes.
which is being discussed.
Whatever comes into your mind, but it should be relevant. It should not be irrelevant. So I can quote a movie, I can quote a serial, I can quote my own life, I can quote a moral story that I might have heard of somewhere, or any experience, anything that can help the things get clearer, simpler, and understandable. And we all love to listen to stories, so it's a good thing. Then lastly, back it up.
To summarize,
And also to do what we say. It should not be the way around. If I'm telling you to be patient, simplify, I myself need to be like that. I should not be the other way. I should not be saying something and doing something else. So it should be balanced. This is about clear communication, the first element of facilitation. The second element is an extension of communication only, and this is active listening. Now, what is active listening? And what is listening and what is hearing? Can someone tell me the difference?
hearing is something we are. I mean, we are. Hearing means listening something and not working on it. Just we are like some students which don't respond anything. They are just ठीक है, teacher पढ़ा रहा है and ठीक है पढ़ा के चला जाएगा, like that. And listening is something we are listening something, but we are not responding to it. We are listening very actively, but we are not responding, and we are shy. And active listening is just as in this meeting, we are having 40 participants. Some are listening and some are taking part in that. And
Yes.
some might be not available
There
there.
also.
So like that. Some might be
Yes.
hearing.
Yes. So hearing is the physical thing. I can hear whatever sound is around me if my ears are properly functioning. I can hear almost everything. What I choose to pay attention to becomes listening. And if I respond to that, process it, it becomes active listening. And the other thing that is written there is pay attention not only to words. So what else we need to pay attention to? Pay attention not only to words. That means there's something else also. What else?
So
Ma'am, can
basically
you
a
please
body
repeat?
language. It could be a body language, or it
True.
could be a tone of how what kind of words they are using.
So body
Ma'am,
language.
can you please repeat the question? Acha, observing body language you're asking.
Yes. So here's written pay attention not only to words. So what else we are paying attention? Digesh, sir, very
Facial
correct.
expressions, it
Yes.
includes facial expressions also. Whether
Yes.
the facilitator or whether anyone, he might be angry, he or she might be angry, he or she might not feel comfortable, like that. According to facial expressions also we should communicate.
Yes. So your facial expression, your body language, the choice of your words.
For example, at home, we
Yes.
decide, Acha, Papa's mood is very good, so let's discuss something. Maybe he might agree. And sometimes he's in a very angry mood, and we say, Nahi, Abhi, this is not the right.
Not
So
the
like
right
that.
time. True.
It's like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yeah, Digesh.
can we do one thing for this paying attention? is it that maybe you can stop the screen, sharing the screen, and let everyone, on their video. And I will give you one word, and let's see, how people are interacting on that.
Sure.
Is that possible?
Yes, yes, anything is possible. Now
Yeah,
it's
okay. Maybe, yeah, okay. Maybe please, everyone, please switch on your video.
I would request everyone to please turn on the cameras.
Yeah, turn on the camera, please. Okay. Let's see everybody, on camera, then we can just. This is very interesting point, and you will love it, really. Okay, what about others? Please, turn your camera. Turn on your camera, please. Okay, so basically, it's like, when I say yes, right? You just need to show me, not with your words, but with your body gesture, that, okay, how you are saying yes. Okay. And when I say no, you also do the same. Okay. Right? Okay. So let's all observe those faces we are seeing on the screen, right?
Okay.
No. Okay, so basically what happened is that, see, this is actually I observed this in my own work experience as well, that when we say, especially for Indians, where we have the ability to say yes in a multiple ways. Okay, not only words, but like, for example, yes, one is that you say yes, this is the yes, correct? Or maybe thumbs up. This is okay, it's obvious that you are saying yes, but sometimes we say yes. Now
This
this
is also
is
yes.
this is also yes for our Indian way of doing it, which means that we are not saying yes or no, but the other person may say, okay, you are saying yes, but your body gesture says no.
No.
Right. So this happened with me when I was having a meeting with my counterpart in Japan. So what happened is, they, when I say yes, so I was saying yes. That time I was not aware that he is looking at on my not only the words but only on the active listening part.
Yes.
So he was telling me that, hey, are you saying me yes or no? I say, yes, I am saying you yes. Yeah, we can do it. No worries, we can do it. We can do it. So he asked me thrice, and then he explained me that, hey, Digesh, you are saying yes. Your word is yes, but your body gesture says
Body
you are
language.
no.
No.
Yes. So body language is, just opposite.
Yeah.
So when he gave me this example, that time, I came, become aware of that, yes, we Indians have that mentality. This
Yes.
is our way of telling it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, Digesh. And to add to what Digesh was saying, this is actually called Indian head nod. The way we shake our heads when we talk. So it can mean anything. It
Anything,
doesn't
yes.
have a fixed meaning. It can mean yes, it can mean no, it may mean confused. And mostly Indians use this more as compared to Europeans or other cultures. So this is a cultural thing. Every part of your body language is a cultural thing. So what we gather from our surroundings, that's what we replicate. So like the guest very well said that in Japan it might be no. For us it's yes also. It can be no also. It's we just try to interpret as per the situation. What does it mean? While as Westerners, they don't shake their heads at all. They keep it still. They're like very straightforward and listening to you. They maybe like do this like okay, like this. So they don't shake this head. And if you Google it, you will find a whole page. This is called wobbling. You might have seen those small figurines with spring on the car dashboards, which keep on dancing their heads. You don't know which direction the head is going to be. It can wobble anyway. So that's inspired by this only. So this is called Indian head nods. That's very essential. Thank you so much, Digesh, for helping us understand it better. So let's come back. So we understood the importance of not words, that is body language, gestures, your facial expressions, your choice of words, or the tone, the way you speak your words is very essential. So you can say yes from your mouth, but the other person can make out very well that this doesn't make yes at all. So the tone, the implications, the emotions, everything. The second point, we have already spoken up about it. Listen first and then speak. So what do we need to do here?
First of all, we need to listen very carefully and then we have to speak what we want to.
So we need to give the other person that opportunity to speak up without interrupting them. And what is the ratio of listening to speaking? Anyone knows? It's very, very obvious.
50-50%.
Okay,
50-50.
Vishaka feels 50-50. Anyone else?
Listening should be more, I feel.
Listening is double, 2 ears,
Yeah,
mouth.
and one mouth.
So,
So
half
six,
the
six,
speaking, double the listening. And then
Actually,
only will be able to respond appropriately. If I listen double, that means I focus more on what is being said to me rather than what I want to say. I will give you a simple example. If I tell you that I like flowers a lot and I have a garden in my house and I mostly do grow flowers when I'm free. So what is your instinct? What will you say?
that you have a passion for growing flowers. You love, you are fond of flowers.
What else? You know, the other day when I was growing my garden and I found that there was a flower which was not growing and I tried to do some nipping with a bud and then it started to bloom. So what is our first instinct? That, yeah, I know that's how it works. We are not listening to the person. We're just jumping to say, I want it. So giving them opportunity to speak up and listen very carefully. At times we get very uncomfortable if someone is speaking and we are not able to speak back. So that thing needs to change. And there are certain points which are here. I'm not going to go into the detail of this circle. I'm just focusing on the two parts. That giving that space to the students. Now we are talking this from a student's perspective. How many times do you think a normal student gets opportunities to speak up in a typical classroom? Especially during
Very
school. Especially
very
during the
less.
school. Very less.
Very less.
Isn't it? So they develop that shyness, this hesitation that is there. And even if they know the answer, what they do, they try to ignore or maybe like say, okay, I don't want to say it because I might be wrong and people might make fun of me. I might be scolded. So making them feel that even if you're totally wrong, that is okay. We all can be wrong as possible, but that is okay. Nothing big, because this is nothing matter of a life or death. No, it's a simple learning. It can be right, it can be wrong. So giving them that space. How do you create that space? When you communicate with them effectively, let them speak. Now I've been talking from last 2 days. Now it's second day. Have you ever heard me saying that no, your answer is incorrect? You have been answering. You have been answering all to me. I've been listening to you. You've been listening to me. Did you find any way whether I use no, this is not correct. The right answer is this.
No.
So, do you think all the answers were correct?
No.
No. But I did not need to say no. You got to know what is the right answer without me pinpointing you or anyone else. You means everyone here. I'm not saying specific person. So I speak only when required. I need to say the correct answer. Yes, if everything is totally going opposite direction, then I can tell them, no, why don't we try this? Rather than saying, no, this is totally wrong. So the choice of words, what do you choose to say, is very, very essential. Your student is not, your son, your daughter is a stupid person. How does this sound? Your son is not very intelligent. Is not very bright. Your daughter is an idiot. Sounds
It's a bit.
your daughter, your son can do better. It means the same thing, but in a very, very polite and acceptable way. Okay, what better? He can focus more on listening. He can improve his handwriting. He can stop playing around the class like that. Very gradual, very respectful. So if we do that everywhere, that things will be automatically put into place. So this is about active listening. The third one, very, very, very essential. Preparedness. So a facilitator needs to prepare. So what does we need to prepare? What do we need to prepare on? What is my preparation?
What you means yesterday you must have prepared or planned what topics on what slides I am going to discuss tomorrow. The key points on which I have to focus and tell them. That means you are planning first, you're jotting down the key points, and then you are preparing. Maybe you must have prepared what questions will be asking or something like that. And then today you are presenting it.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Shaka. So what I'm going to do, I need to forecast everything. This is what I'm going to do. If this doesn't work, this. If this doesn't work, this. If this doesn't work, this. So everything has to be there. Now this is what I'm presenting for like 35 or 36 time. The same PPT. Do you think I need to see the PPT again?
No, no. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You need to see. Maybe you might find something new.
I've made this PPT.
No,
Still I need to, because I might miss something, or I might forget to share something with you. If it is on the screen, it gives me a reminder, this point, this point, this point. The activity which I told you to do, the teamwork. I felt that teamwork would be appropriate for this group. Sometimes I change the topic. It's not that I'm always doing activity on a teamwork. I can choose any topic. There are more than 60 topics. I can choose any. So that also keeps me on my toes that, yeah, I need to think what kind of activity we could be doing. Now, we had a varied group. Some of you are from North India, some from Central, some from Southern, and like that. So I couldn't give you a topic on your region. It would be very conflicting in nature. So I chose a movie that's more connecting, more easy to understand. I need to prepare, and that preparation, yes, initially I used to write everything. Since I've been doing it very often, I just write the key points that this. Now, what is pre-work for me? What is post-work for me? Whether I've sent the Zoom links to everyone, whether my WhatsApp group is working, whether my questionnaire is open on a particular time. So all those things I need to prepare and present every time. This is something very, very essential. I cannot take things for granted. The whole system, the whole PPT can collapse. It can get a bug and not work. I should know what is there in the PPT. I should have a backup. So backup can be my phone, backup can be my diary, backup can be me, anything which is workable in the situation. So preparedness is the last thing. The last thing which is there, which is the need of the hour, is innovation and improvisation. So first, innovation, and second is improvise. So how can I improvise in the session? And what is improvisation for that matter of fact?
Ma'am, your screen is not visible. It may be error from my side, or is it visible?
It's not visible. I'll share it again. Is it visible now?
Yes.
So, what is improvisation? Anyone?
Ma'am, as you said that you have been taking these sessions, you are taking this session 35th or 36th time. So I suppose you must be improvising yourself again and again. I mean, in each and every session, you must be improvising yourself that now, and you must be getting those ideas from us only.
True. So If I look at any recording of my session, every time I'm presenting differently. The same topic, my examples change. My explanation changes. How do I interact with you? That changes. So that is improvisation. That means changing on the situation, and rightly said, I get those inputs from you only. How do you are with me? I become that. Sometimes I explain a lot. Sometimes I don't explain a lot. Sometimes I just let it be and the people come up with their thoughts. So it depends on my audience, and I keep on adapting as per the situation. That is improvisation. So all of us have to be very flexible. It's not that this is the final word which I am saying. No, it can be your thoughts, it can be someone else's thought as well. And lastly is innovate. Innovation means using technology, using new things to make older things better and more interesting. Also getting help from different tools to make our lives easy. So I've given example for ChatGPT or AI or Canva, or there are multiple tools which are there. You can use any of them, but only to make things easy, not to one activity, 2 activities. System can tell me 5 activities. I can use that in 5 different places and not get bored with what I do. And lastly, individual needs are to be kept in mind. So what is my audience? What is their level? How well they are able to respond to me? What is their understanding of the things? That I need to understand as a facilitator. Is it okay? Is it all right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is all for today. We are closing in next 2 minutes. So this for today's quiz, I already told you, you have to go through the flipped classroom methodology, the WF teaching methodology, only one PPT, and the quiz has already been shared in the classroom. So this is your Google Classroom looking like today. There would be a session topic 2, teaching methodology. There would be a quiz link. There's some additional learning material if you want. And the PPT, the single slide is also already there. So what you need to do after 4 is just revise the slide and appear for the assessment. The name would be session 2, WF teaching methodology. Anything, any question?
No, ma'am.
I hope things are clear.
Yes, yes.
What about next gen, ma'am?
So the next gen topic will be our tomorrow's topic. We'll be understanding how the platform will be worked, like how to create logins, how to enroll your students, what are the different features of the platform. So that we will be discussing tomorrow, and it should not take us more than one and a half hours. That will be our tomorrow's task. And tomorrow you will be having a final quiz. The quiz will have everything from day 1 to day 3. So you need to summarize the whole PPT. And your questions will be very simple based on all the things we are discussing, we are talking, it's in the PPT, and nothing very technical. Just need to pay attention to what we discuss in the classroom. Is it all right?
Madam,
Okay.
attendance link, ma'am.
Yes, I'm sharing that.
Hello.
So, yeah, attendance is here. Just give me a second. I'll copy this.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please tell me.
Ma'am, actually yesterday I don't write a quiz due to some work. Is it possible to write on today?
I need to check with my project managers if they're okay with it. Then I will let you know. You can drop a message to me later and check.
Yeah, thank you.
You're from which institute, sir?
It's a Chittoor Government ITI.
APSSTC.
Yeah, it's APSSDC.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just need to speak to the concerned project manager.
Yeah.
If they are okay with that, I'll open it. And you just drop me a message in the afternoon, and I will let you know. So I've shared the attendance link, Google form. You can please mark your attendance for the day. And if there's anything, you face any challenge afterwards, you can always drop a message in the WhatsApp, and I'll try to help you solve that.
Ma'am, in that link, there is 2 mail IDs. Ma'am. What?
Sorry?
It's asking 2 mail IDs. In that link, in that attendance link means there is 2 mail IDs is there.
Okay, 2 mail IDs are being asked. So
Yeah, yeah.
you have to write only one. I'll just change it. Just
One.
give me a-
Okay.
Now only one will be there. You can choose one. And whatever information you had put yesterday, please put it in the same way, the name, the email ID, and the institute. Don't change that.
Okay.
Because when it's there, we won't be able to identify. Unless you have interacted with me, then I recall your names, then I know who you are. So it becomes easier for us. So that's why we have been asking you to be on the camera and be interactive. That also helps you with your marks. If someone is lacking behind with 1% or something like that, if your class presence was good enough, we give you that marks. We don't deduct any marks in that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I hope everyone is able to access the attendance link.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Thank you. So I'll see you tomorrow around 11. And if I'm not there, there would be another person from my team. I'll try to be there. I might be a little busy tomorrow. I'll try to be there as long as possible, but probably the session will be taken by someone else. So he's a very good facilitator. He'll be taking you through the LMS and I'll be there as well. Thank you so much, everyone.
thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.